Oh yeah, I need to cheat on this one to get to next level. If I only could do the same thing in music production. Oh wait, I actually can. In this video, I'm going to show you my favorite cheats and exploits that can level up your music production game. Let's go! Sometimes the mix doesn't have space for your lead sound, like this. Is there any cheat for this? Yes, there is. In our case, this is the part where the plugs crash. Because they're in exactly the same frequency domain. The cheat, put a suit, click the sidechain, go to your suit, choose your input, in this case it is my serum, and if we play this again, you'll see that it opens up space for our lead sound in all those different instruments. Increase the depth. I want to focus slightly here, so I'm gonna make deeper cuts. You see how suddenly plugs come through without? And with. You don't need to use always suit. You can use multiband compressor or other dynamic EQ plugins. Let me show you how I use this exploit on my tracks. First, we have these beautiful vocals from Fill Down. The problem is, when we come into the verse, the vocals are masked. What if we could cheat again to bring the vocals front? In this case, we have these pianos. Right, these and vocals sits in similar frequency range. So what do we do? In this case, I first use multiband compression because I want to open up an even space rather than each harmonics of the vocal, like this. Right? Subtle cut from the high, and then to bring the vocals even more to the front, the suit. Then we can target these each vocal harmonics. Listen how beautiful it makes the vocal sit in the mix. Without. Simple, so beautiful. If you don't know how to add ear candies to your track, there is a cheat code created hundreds of years ago that is called passing notes, and it is the real exploit. Listen to this. Something in the dark of what we need. There's no other place for. So right here, we are going from verse to kind of a build down almost. And I want to emphasize this with something, right? Comes the passing notes. Passing notes are theme notes that you use at the end of a bar. And they can be as simple as a note or two. So they act as a bridge connecting different bars in your track. Look how much difference and emotion two notes adds into the track. You cannot tell me this is a real cheat code and exploit. The good thing, you can do the same thing with the chord progression. And here, it's exactly what I'm doing. Like the chord progression go normal. These ones are the passing notes in my chord progression. Just at the end, 2-3 notes, making the progression connecting the next one. Without, it will be dull and boring. Right? You don't get this satisfactory feeling without these 3 notes right there. And then I contrast the same thing here, but other way around. Listen again. so amazing. If you're enjoying the video up to now, there is one thing that you can do for me. Like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a ton. If you are trying to learn vocal processing, you will end up watching a lot of pop vocal processing, which is really gentle compression with different chains. That may sound really weak in house and techno mixes. I cheated a lot. I don't know how many other people use this method, but I use all the time to get these really aggressive vocals in my track. Original vocal is like this.
Skin to fingertips and down complete.
Obviously gorgeous vocals, but it's not strong enough for the sound that I'm going for in this track. Listen my chorus. You see the aggressiveness and power, we need a strong vocal. The way I cheat this one is first focusing on mid-highs of the vocal with an overdrive, but the real cheat is pushing the vocal into maximizer very hard. The reason for this is very elegant and straightforward. You see here, this part and this part, these are the parts vocal really wants to be aggressive. Listen again. How do you get distortion out of that part? You drive into the maximizer, into this clipping distortion on it, making it more aggressive. So it's really straightforward. It's a super cheat code. Look how much I'm pushing it into the maximizer. If you show this one to a pop producer, they will have a heart attack. But in EDM, that distortion, that is beautiful. That's what makes the vocal aggressive. Listen in the context now. You see how much it pops, how much power that you get out of the vocals. Maximizers are your secret weapon for aggressive vocals. If two sounds have a similar envelope, our brains relate them to each other, and we can exploit this. To illustrate my point, I just grabbed super random samples. First loop, we have this. The way you cheat is, you go to your source loop and put an envelope follower. So we are copying the envelopes that the original loop has, and then you pick any sound. Simple white noise, and you put a utility there. By mapping our envelope over here to the utility, this will be our volume envelope. Wait a second, they sound super similar, isn't it? Look how easy to layer them now. It's mind-blowing. It almost feels like, yeah, it is the same sound, right? If you don't believe me, let's take a much darker white noise now. Together. Now you are thinking, wait a second, that is just the two percussion loops and a noise. Will that work with more complicated sounds? Let's try. Here I have this one. Kind of a plucky melody. And then I have this super weird lead sound. Obviously, these two sounds are completely unrelated. Let's do the same trick. Envelope follower goes into the utility of that weird sound. Listen again. So the main cheat of layering stuff is matching their envelopes. And easiest way to do that, use this envelope follower cheating method. One of the big questions that I get is how to create beautiful pads, ambiances, and air in your tracks using synthesizers. The answer, don't use synthesizers because there is a hack that you can apply. Now, I have this one over here. When you love so long, that the thrill is gone. I need ambience, obviously, and you can of course use synthesizers, but there is really exploit that you can do here. What you do is go for a reverb that you like, and the main idea is just get the cut that you want, maybe something like this, and then create a long reverb. The reason for this one, we want to hold this sound and blend them each other and creating a harmony out of it. In this case, if I saw this on the reverb and put it on 100% width. Do you hear how the reflections are creating this harmony behind it, almost like a chord? And what you do at the place you like the most, freeze the sound. And you create a new channel, put in the resampling mode, and just resample that frozen sound. Without the vocals, so you can hear the ambience. Isn't this so gorgeous? And listen how much it adds to the track. Awesome! If you want to see more pro producers hacks, I have more of those here. Take a look.